Miami 29. Morris back in the shotgun, wants to throw it, looking deep downfield, has a man wide open. It's a Central Michigan touchdown. Eric Cooper with the grab for the Chippewas, his second career TD.
It was an extremely hot day on Saturday as Central Michigan fell to Miami in their MAC opener in 2017. We've got the highlights of the game coming up next on Chippewa Rewind. Welcome into Chippewa Rewind with Coach John Bonamigo. I'm Adam Jaxa. Tough loss for Central Michigan. Your team falls 31-14 on Saturday. Coach, what'd you think when you look back at the film? What'd you see from your team?
Really, it was a tale of two halves. I felt like in the first half, defensive. We spotted them 28 points. It was a game of missed opportunities. We had the ball 2 times inside the 5-yard line, and both times came away with no points. We had a field goal blocked in the game early. That really was the margin of defeat. I'm bitterly disappointed with the loss. I was pleased with the effort, especially in the second half, on a very, very challenging day from the temperature-wise. But our guys continued to fight and hang together. They understand what needs to be done. We have to play better. It's really, we stress and talk all the time about paying attention to the details. And when you suffer a loss like this, there's a couple ways you can react. You can blame other people. You can feel sorry for yourself. My challenge to them and everyone really is not to do either one of those. My challenge has been for all of us, including myself and the coaching staff, is to really examine and look at what I could have done better. To a man, myself, the assistant coaches, coordinators, certainly the players. What could I and what can I do better to make sure that we don't have this feeling again? It hurts, it should hurt, it's supposed to hurt, it's going to hurt, and I want it to hurt. I want them to hurt. We were much, much closer to winning that football game than the final score indicates. I know in a setting like this where we only get a chance to look at a handful of plays, it might be difficult to quantify that, or it might sound like coach speak. Hats off to Miami. They were well prepared. They played well. We knew this was going to be a physical game. We knew that they were a good football team. I believe we have a very good football team as well, and I'm very disappointed in how we executed yesterday.
Well, let's take you inside Kelly Short Stadium on Saturday. An incredibly hot day, 93 degrees. The sun was out shining. They get 2 early touchdowns, 14-0, and then your team starts to mount a drive early in the second. Great scramble here by Shane to find Jonathan Ward.
Yeah, this is a nice job by Shane, is stepping up, avoiding this pressure, slides outside. Jonathan uses his scramble rules. Shane's been able to find him there on the sideline, and we get a big gain.
Big call by you here. You want to cut the score in half. You go for it on 4th down, and Shane gets in the end zone.
Yeah, again, I mean, you're down. You need to score a touchdown, and we run the zone read. They collapse on the zone, and Shane's able to keep that, reads it correctly, and get in the end zone for a score.
So it's 14-7, Miami in front early in that second quarter. That was the first rushing touchdown of Shane Morris's collegiate career. Here they get a long touchdown up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, this one is, it's a miscommunication or a missed assignment. Alex Briones, who's played very well for us, is supposed to have number 3 up the seam. We leave Josh kind of hanging out there. He's supposed to have help from the safety coming over from the middle. That doesn't get there because the safety ends up covering the 3 vertical, and Josh is left out of position. The kid runs a good route. Ragland, who we know is a good football player, good quarterback, is able to see that and throws a strike, and they get another score.
Makes it 21-7 in that second quarter. And this was a tough one. We mentioned plays that if you could have had back may have changed the game a little bit. You get an interception here, but a roughing the passer call.
Again, a great athletic play by Amari Coleman. I thought Amari overall played his heart out in the football game. This was just one of those bang-bang type plays. I don't fault the official for throwing the flag. We never use them as an excuse, but what happened was, Ragland the quarterback was hit initially by, I think it was Michael Dana, and as he's stumbling backwards, he runs into Mitch. And so it's one of those things where, you know, when his eyes went to it, when the official's eyes went to it, he only saw the end result of it, and it looked much worse than it was.
They get a touchdown at the end of that drive, make it 28-7. So your team needs a score right before the half. And Eric Cooper had a career day, 6 catches, 81 yards, gets his second career touchdown.
This is a great job, good call from up top, great design here. We'll be able to get 2 levels here. The corner breaks up on the flat route, which leaves Cooper singled up on the safety. He's able to break out. We get a really good, on-time, accurate throw from Shane, and it's a touchdown. It's a great job all the way around there.
28-14 with a minute left to play. Thought we would go into the half with nothing else, but then this crazy play, a kick that ends up short, and Amari with an amazing athletic play takes it to the house, but you get called for leveraging.
Again, you know, it was a good call by the officials. Some things happened prior to that on previous snaps that we should have noticed, but we failed to pick up on. Again, Amari Coleman with unbelievable effort play. And really has a help from a lot of people there. I know Sean Bunting had a really nice block there early in the return. This is a situation that we practice. We're able to execute. Unfortunately, you know, we committed a foul, so it kind of makes it an exciting highlight reel to look at. However, not points that end up counting on the board.
So 28-14 the score at the half. When we come back on Chippewa Rewind, we'll take a look at the second half highlights. And later on in the show, we'll talk with punter Jack Sheldon.
I remember when I was looking at schools, my dad told me that when I found the right one, I would definitely know, and it was going to be a feeling. And when I was here, it felt like home. And the people here, they felt like family. And I remember being in the bookstore, and I was picking out all this apparel, but I was like, what, do you think you're coming here or something? I was like, you know, matter of fact, I think I am.
I would like to say thank you so much for all of your support and donations that you've given to our university over the course of the years. We look forward to making you proud on and off the field, not only the football team, but all of the athletic programs at our university, and we promise to make you proud.
I'd like to personally thank you for your support and investment in Central Michigan athletics. Your generosity allows our student athletes to compete on a national level, academically, athletically, and personally. Once again, thank you for your support, and fire up Chips.
28-14, Central Michigan trailing Miami to start the second half. And your first drive, you march right down the field. A big play here to Mark Chapman.
Yeah, this is a nice job here by Mark with a really excellent release there by press coverage. We're able to get to the second level. Shane lays in a nice pass for him there, and we're down in the red zone.
Now take us through this next play. You get it close to the 4-yard line, and Shane gets picked off.
This is kind of an all or nothing play. If it's covered, we should be throwing this away. We try to get an acting job by the tight end. This was John Carson. We'd like to get a little bit better job from him. This was probably too fast. Shane really should throw the ball away there. You know, we make an ill-advised throw. They make a play on the ball and are able to, you know, return the interception back out.
Miami gets the only points of the second half with a field goal, goes in front 31-14. Joe Ostman, another big day, leads your team with 8 tackles, a couple of sacks. Here's one.
Yeah, Joey, you know, he's the Energizer Bunny out there. He is all over the field. This is a nice job here, swimming the tackle. He's unimpeded there to the quarterback and makes the sack. It's a great job by Joey.
2 sacks on Saturday, Coach. He's now got 17 for his career, which ties him with Bubba Hester for 6th all-time as a Chippewa.
Well, we'll make sure we got to keep him going and climbing that ladder. He's doing a great job and having a great senior year.
So 31-14 the score. Late in the 4th, you're trying to drive and get back into this one, and here's a nice throw to Mark Chapman.
Yeah, again, vertical concept, great throw, great catch by Mark, and we're moving again.
So then you have a 4th and goal once again, trying to go for the touchdown and unable to convert.
Yeah, no, you know, this is a situation here where, you know, you're really down 3 scores. It's late in the game. It's different than being down by 10. You know, if you're down by 10, you're going to take probably the field goal in this situation. But I really felt like, given everything that had happened, we needed to try to give ourselves opportunity. score a touchdown. We're trying to hit Mark on a slant route here. They do a good job of dropping out. They kind of showed blitz, dropped out. They got a man underneath the route. But really what hurt us was the defensive end got his hand up in the air and deflected the pass.
So that's how it ends. Final score 31-14 to Miami. Your team lost the second straight game. How do you get this turned around and get them back on the winning track next week?
Well, again, you got to recommit yourself to the things that you believe in, the things that you know hold true. And I don't know any way to do that other than to just keep working as hard as you possibly can. I think, the theme of attention to the details is one that's got to resonate with everyone in our program, really from the top down, and making sure that, making certain that we know we know ourselves, our assignments, and the opponent, what to expect, that we're not trying to ask individuals to do too much, so it's really should be a wake-up call for everyone, and we've got our work cut out for us this week as we go back out on the road and play another ACC team at Boston College. So we're going to have a great plan, and we're going to have to be able to execute the plan.
All right, well, when we come back, we'll talk with Jack Sheldon. Chippewas have a punter from Australia. You won't want to miss it. Come out and support Central Michigan in their next home game 3 weeks from today on Saturday, October 14th. The Chippewas welcome in the Toledo Rockets to Kelly Short Stadium. Game time is at 3:30, and it's homecoming for CMU. This is the final Saturday home game, so claim your seats before it's too late. You can purchase tickets by visiting Ticket Central, calling 1-888-FIRE-UP2, or by visiting CMUChippewas.com. Once again, we hope to see you at Kelly Short Stadium on October 14th for homecoming against Toledo. Kickoff is at 3:30.
I came over last year, obviously I got here about a week before fall camp started, but originally the process started about 6 months before that. Well, I broke my leg playing Australian rules football, and I could run, but I couldn't run, but I could still kick. So I went down and tried out to be a punter over here with a program called Pro Kick Australia, and my brother and I did that. We tried out with Nathan Chapman and John Smith, and yeah, boys, is it good enough if you want to give it a go? And then a couple of months later, we were on a plane over, and yeah, the rest was history.
Sheldon didn't make the journey to the United States all by himself. He describes what it's like to have a brother here as well.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was my first game ever, my first time ever watching him play, because we've always been playing on the same weekends. But that was a pretty cool experience. It was, I was more nervous watching him, I reckon, than what I was when I actually played. But no, they played Cal, and another Australian who we trained with back there was Stephen Coots, the punter for Cal. So it was good to see both of them after the game. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So Tom and I were pretty close. We're on the phone to each other once or twice a day talking about it. So if one of us has a good punt, we're on there pumping telling us how good we are. But apart from that, it made the transition a fair bit easier, because he's going through the same things that I'm going through, so you can always run things by him, and ever having any troubles, he's pretty good to talk to about that stuff too. He's 28, he turns 29 on October 19th, so next month, so yeah, he's getting on a bit. Yeah, I'm always into him about that, being the dad of all the boys, all the other specialists on the team. He's a little bit more responsible too, so he's always telling them off or something like that.
As expected, his thick Australian accent draws tons of attention around the locker room, but also around campus as well.
So I didn't really realise I had an accent when I was back home in Australia, because most people kind of sound like me, but as soon as I moved over here, I'd say something to someone and they'd just look at me with a confused face, and I'd that was probably the biggest adjustment. And then aside from that, in terms of playing, in the college level, we don't really have crowds like we experience here, so it's that was another big thing. It took a little bit to adjust. I remember the first game, I'd never been that nervous before. I cop a little bit of a hard time from all the boys when I'll say something that's pretty Australian. But first day of each semester, when we have the introduction classes and the syllabus days, they're always pretty funny. You always get a few laughs. So I get up and I know what people's reactions are going to be. But I'm Jack Sheldon. I'm from Chippewa, Australia, and everyone turns around and looks with a real confused face. And yeah, that happens a fair bit in most classes. Shane Morris, he's always bagged me out. Or Zach Crouch. Yeah, well, most of the boys are into me a lot about that.
There's nothing like that Australian accent, Coach. Jack Sheldon in his second year with your team, and he just seems like the most positive person, always happy and always excited to talk to you.
I think that that is a great way to describe him, is just a genuine enthusiasm. Gosh, I remember when he came in and saw his locker for the first time, and I didn't think anybody could be so excited to wear number 99. He was so stoked, and you know, it's pretty remarkable when you think about the very first football game that he ever even witnessed in his whole life was the one he played in at Presbyterian last year. So, you know, it's he's an expert at working at his craft. He's off to a great year. He's had a couple of really, really good games for us, and you know, we just hope that he can continue to work and improve. He's a definite asset to our special teams and to our team overall.
Yeah, he's been a great kicker so far for Central Michigan. They'll need him as your team heads down to Boston College. One more non-conference game before you really get into the entire MAC slate. Just take us through what your expectations are going on the road again this weekend.
Well, we know we're going to face a very physical front on both sides of the ball. They're a team that really prides themselves on their physicality. So, you know, that will be a big challenge. You know, obviously an ACC team, very skilled team. We will have to put together a great plan, be able to execute that plan, and you know, it's going to be important, as it always is, to make sure that we, number one, protect the football, see if we can generate a takeaway here or there, and do our very best to be mistake-free.
All right, Saturday, your team goes out to Boston College to try and get back on the winning track and pick up your third win of the season. Good luck to you, and good luck to the Chippewas. We'll break that one down next week, hopefully a Central Michigan win. For Coach John Bonamigo, I'm Adam Jackson. Have a great week, and fire up Chips.